Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And this is playoffs week, quarterfinals this week. We got a big episode ready for you, a big breakdown of all the good games. But to recap last week, Brendan was officially eliminated. I don't even remember if he won or lost. I really don't. No, he lost because Mixon got hurt and Cole couldn't quite squeeze it out.
No, he beat me. No, he won.
Yes, excuse me. Cole lost, Brendan won. Because of that, and Dan comes back on Monday night to beat me, Dan sneaks in to the 2 spot with a bye week.
Can I just say something, Sam, please?
Sure, champ, go ahead.
My plan, since Greg Olsen was out, my plan for this past week was to potentially not start a tight end, depending on Greg Olsen's status. I ended up waiting, and I was going to pick up Jesse James. Sam, would have had a win if I didn't start a tight end, decides to pick up Jesse James despite me. So my options were Vanette, the guy from the Seahawks, Luke Wilson from the Seahawks, Trey Burton, or I don't even know. I mean, Uzma maybe? Something like that. I don't know. So I decide to go with Trey Burton, Philadelphia Eagle. Zach Ertz gets hurt. Trey Burton gets 4 catches for 42 yards on the very last drive of the game. Jesse James ends with 1.9 points. I win by just under 2 points, I believe.
I think it was 1.8.
And secure a first-round bye for the first time in my...
This is only your second playoff appearance in 15 years.
That's unconfirmed.
Well, that looks like all the time we have for this podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
Dan just wanted to come on and brag. Yes, in my attempt to spite Dan, I shot myself in the foot. Not my proudest moment, but I saw a hole and I hit it. It was the wrong hole, though. It is what it is. We've all been there.
All year I've been saying that my team is the team of destiny. But after the way that things fell for Dan on Sunday and Monday night, I gotta say, it's looking like Fallon might be the team of destiny this year.
Don't call me the team of destiny. I don't want that title.
Don't you put that on him.
Well, I've already put on you, so you better take it.
So, there's other big news. Hold on. Wait a minute, guys. We're missing some of the biggest news of the week. Our very own Michael Proska got his first win of the year. Against the 6th seed. The guy in the playoffs that just barely limped his way in. Hey, everyone give a round of applause to Mike. It was a hard-fought year. A lot of injuries, but he overcame. He overcame and he succeeded. Jack?
It took 60 points for him to get his first win. That's all he needed was 60 points.
It's quite the run. I don't know how many losses he had.
2 wins this year, and they both would have came against the Liberators.
That's right.
To say he went out on top in his last game in the league is something that he'll hold true to his
We'll have a nice tribute before he's done.
We should put together a PowerPoint.
Look out for your tribute video coming, dropping soon.
Very excited for that.
But this week, playoffs have officially begun. We'll give you they are as follows: John Schmidt with the 1 seed, Dan Fallon 2 seed, Culture Kell 3, Alex 4, Chris 5, Jack 6. Now we don't reseed, so the matchups are as follows: John will play the winner of Alex and Chris next week. Dan will play the winner of Cole and Jack next week. Winners of those subsequent matches, Week 16, square off in the playoffs for good old Donnybrook. However, as we were talking this week, pointed out, sheer luck, the way the playoffs are set up this year, one member of the board is guaranteed to be in the championship. Now, I didn't pull any voodoo magic here, but I'd like to think that I inspired these 3 to get where they are. Guys, thoughts? What do you have? Cole?
Yeah, Sam, you fueled us.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm a tremendous fantasy player. People tell me that I'm a tremendous fantasy player. Everyone around me constantly lets me know how tremendous of a fantasy football player that I am, and it had absolutely nothing to do with Usain.
I just can't wait for all the pushback after one of us wins the championship. And, oh, it's rigged. Oh, Sam did this. Oh, Colt did this. You guys stink. I'm quitting the league.
I think, Jack, I mean, that's inevitable. That's always going to happen.
It really is going to be fun to hear from the haters afterwards.
Of which there are many.
Yes, John Schmidt did send in a complaint to the board earlier this evening.
I'm surprised Brendan Buchanan has filed a formal complaint against extra points for bonuses and nonsense.
I always imagine people sending complaints to the league. It's like the scene from It's Always Sunny where Charlie just runs the mail through the mailroom. He's like, I just send the complaints through this one, and they just get resent back out.
No, they send them to my dad, and he opens it, and he gets angry and doesn't know what's going on. He's like, what is this? Classic old man. But anyway,
we're missing one thing, Sam.
Go ahead, Dan. What am I missing?
I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but the first payout that was greater than $10 happened this past week.
Congratulations to Dan Fallon, for most points scored in the league this year. He gets the
Thank you.
That was recently converted to first overall seed from points. Began last year. Could look it back up. But yeah, congrats, Dan. But right now, what's that, Dan? Oh, a round of applause. Just pat yourself on the back.
I was going to say only team that averaged over 100 points a game, but either way.
Semantics.
Either way is fine.
So let's get started. We're going to give a real further in-depth look at the matchups this week. Dan and I are going to take this first one. It's actually because it's Jack and Cole, and Jack and Cole will take the next one. So, Dan, I know you're driving. I don't know how much access you have to it, but I'll start reading off.
I've memorized every team.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you did. Derek Carr versus Russell Wilson. Russell's projected more, but as we discussed, projections, schmections. Derek Carr is facing a Marcus Peters-less Kansas City, and Russell Wilson is Jacksonville. I think Derek Carr, even though they've been on a skid, doesn't have a bad week. I see he gets Crabtree back. I believe Cooper gets back. What do you think?
I think Cooper's actually going to be out, but last time, Derek Carr was actually my team last time he played Kansas City. He dropped 31 points to the tune of 4 touchdowns and over 300 passing yards.
That was the Thursday night game, correct?
Again. However, I do see Derek Carr scoring 18 points this week, and Russell Wilson's going to put up 14 and a half.
Oh, wow. So, Derek Carr manages, Russell Wilson struggles against the 2 top cornerbacks in the league. Good to know. Next up, we got receivers. Jack's got Julio and Cooks. Julio and Cooks, and Cole has the feverish Jeffrey and the simmering Hilton. Julio tonight against New Orleans, they've been playing great D. The Falcons have been really struggling. Brandon Cooks, New England, you never know. He could go off for 100 points. He could get 1 catch. Same with Jeffrey. T.Y. Hilton, I think the luck has run out on that Colts team. I just don't see him getting a whole lot of yards there. Or touchdown opportunities, especially against a good Buffalo defense. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, give me Julio, and give me a lot of Julio tonight, to the tune of 8 for 150 and 2 scores.
Wow.
He's in for a vintage Julio night.
Really?
I see Jack just overtaking the matchup right here at the wide receiver position, as I think both Jeffrey and Hilton score under 4 points this week.
I disagree. I think Jeffrey surprises some people, and the Eagles bounce back and kick some teeth in. Jeffrey goes 90 and a touchdown. I think Cooks has a middle-of-the-road game. I know I just said he could be either extreme, but I'm going against that. I think he has a middle-of-the-road game, and T.Y. does nothing. So I do think
Cooks
Jack
will
takes
give you 8 for 70 this week. It's my personal opinion. More, he's gonna try to take over with no Gronk. Going to take over a little bit of the possession receiver role that he doesn't normally take.
I agree. So let's move on. Running backs. So we're going to actually include flexes. Thankfully, they both have running backs in their flexes. Jack's Kareem Hunt, Christian McCaffrey, and M. Davis from Seattle, who I'm not sure what his first name is.
Mike. It's Mike Sampson.
Mike. Okay, good to know Mike. Latavius Murray, Joe Mixon, and Dion Lewis for Cole. Now, obviously there's concerns with Mixon with the concussion. There's concerns with Lewis with the crowded backfield and Rex Burkhead being a vulture. I think Murray continues to have week after week on the up and up. What do you think about Jack's running backs, Dan?
Real quick, I'm going to add, I may start Peyton Barber over McCaffrey. Not sure yet. That's going to be game time to call.
Over
game
McCaffrey.
Time there, Jack. Gotcha. What do I think about Jack's running backs? Well, there's a reason that Jack's in the playoffs over Brendan, because he fluttered at the end of the season. And that reason is Kareem Hunt and his huge first 3 games where he scored over 100 fantasy points in the first 3 games of the season.
That's kind of hard to replicate year long.
I think that Kareem Hunt is in for a big week this week.
Finds his way. Wow, I like it.
I think Kareem Hunt finds his way. I think Jack's going to put up 140 points this week. Kit's team is just going to go off. I can feel it. Jack's prone to make a nice playoff run here. He got here because of Kareem Hunt. He survived because of a 52-point game of Julio. And he's going to ride Kareem Hunt into the next round of the playoffs. Big week
Place is
for Kareem
calling
Hunt.
my name.
Yeah, I mean,
Kareem Hunt.
I think Kareem, I don't say it. I think McCaffrey has an awful matchup. I think Mike Davis has a tough matchup, especially being the new starter in a carousel of terrible Seattle running backs. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks. I think Dion Lewis has a high potential as long as he can score from outside the one. He's going to take it rather than Burkhead. I think Murray's got a plus matchup against Carolina. Joe Mixon, if he gets back in time, stays healthy, good. If not, who's Cole got back up and for him? He has Darkwa. I wouldn't suggest starting him or Eckler of the Chargers. So hopefully he puts a different receiver.
Great running backs, Cole.
His sexy flexes aren't so sexy anymore. Maybe take Mixon out if he's hurt, throw in a receiver at the flex, but that's a manager's call early or later on in the week. Tight ends, we got ASJ for Jack and Zach Ertz for Cole. Wow. No, never mind. Sorry. Ertz again battling injury. ASJ has not played great, playing at Denver. They're not very good against tight end, to be perfectly honest. I don't think the Rams are great. I don't think they're anything bad, but I think they're middle of the road. I think Ertz stays healthy. 9 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. 0 yak. Dan, what do you got?
Give me ASJ and give me a lot of them this week. I tell you that much. Robbie Anderson is struggling with a hamstring injury right now.
Oh,
all right.
Big news.
One of the biggest things that has happened to the Jets team in the past few weeks has been they've been throwing the ball downfield.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they've been moving away from ASJ. He's had 3 times this year he's had a touchdown taken back because of a fumble or a bobble at the end zone, and they considered it a drop or a fumble.
That happened 3 times?
That's happened 3 times this season. He's been on my team in a couple leagues. He was on my team in this league exactly for one of them, at least. I think ASJ gets in the end zone. He's not a flashy guy, but give him 40 and a touchdown with a chance at 2. And Zach Ertz, I truthfully, I don't think he's playing this week.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
At least he has Trey Burton. So
at least Cole has his platoon of tight ends.
I'm hopping off. Cole, you suck. Go Julio Jones.
Jack has to leave for
I just want to
legal
say this.
obligations.
Zach Ertz was cleared. He's out of concussion protocol, so it's looking like he's going to play on Sunday.
just because he looks like he's going to play doesn't mean he's going to play, Cole.
Okay. Let's get back. We're taking a little bit. Finally, the special teams players, Prater and Jacksonville for Jack, Bailey and Green Bay for Cole. I think Jack's going to lean on Jacksonville, as he has all year. One of his best players, somehow. I think he's going to lead, and they're going to lead those 4. Otherwise, final predictions. I think 95, 92.5. Cole wins it. Dan?
I'm going to go 127.6. to 81.3. Jack's going to take the W.
Wow.
It's not going to be a close one.
That is a strong opinion. I like it.
I
Jack?
would like to say, real
Sure.
quick, I know we went on for a while there.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I'm so high on Jack is because if anybody's going to kick me out of the playoffs, it better not fucking be Cole.
Yeah, you'd never hear the end of that.
No, I would never hear the end of that.
So, okay, next matchup, we'll look at Alex versus Chris. And Jack had to leave us for coaching obligations. He gets to coach a bunch of high school girls, which is, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Hopefully nothing comes up against him. Just kidding. We'll go on. Cole, what do you think? Tom Brady or Breeze? Who do you want? Tom Brady is playing Miami.
Tom Brady against Miami this week. Even though he doesn't have Gronk, I think that game's going to be pretty much a blowout. I think he's going to really target Cooks, which really bodes well for Jack. But I do think that they're going to really hammer the running game against the Miami defense. Really has been susceptible to the run over the past couple of weeks.
They've been quite porous. But Drew Brees, I mean, they've been New Orleans. The only reason I think Tom Brady wins this is because
Jackass, mother.
I believe they're both of the same quality, but I think because New Orleans has been leaning on the run, they're going to continue to do that, whereas Tom Brady gets to lean on the pass a little bit more. I'll give it to Brady in this one. So, how about this? Who do you got? Michael Thomas and Mike Evans versus A.J. Green, Des Bryant. I think Michael Thomas hasn't been having the best of years. I think he's running off a lot of reputation. Mike Evans.
No, I don't. I agree. I don't like Des Bryant, though. I think he's overrated.
No, I think he's...
I do think A.J. Green does well against Chicago this week.
Honestly, looking at it, I think A.J. Green is the only one that has a very good game of the four of these. I think they all have potential to go off. Obviously, they're very good athletes and good receivers. But you get... Is Jameis back yet for Tampa Bay, or you still got that shit show carousel quarterback down there?
I think James is back, and I do think he's a little bit more crisp this week. However, Mike Evans really just hasn't
popped.
had a great year. I think it's because of the shaky quarterback play and the uncertainty at the quarterback position in Tampa. But
Wholeheartedly agree.
See, that's why I don't like projections that much out here, because I don't really like either of the wide receivers this week. I think that the Saints continue to run the football, and I think that limits Michael Thomas on the outside for them.
So going off
like
that,
either, but if I did have to pick, I like Michael Thomas and Mike Evans over them. Then we can move on.
Dan, can you go on mute? We're getting a lot of feedback.
Actually,
What?
Go to mute. We're getting a lot of feedback.
I'm not saying anything.
I know, but your car is making a lot of noise. Alvin Kamara and Kenyon Drake on Chris's team versus Gurley and Gordon. Now, Gurley is having a great year. However, he is going up against Philly D, which has been pretty good. Alvin Kamara, as we said, in New Orleans has been leaning on the run quite a bit. Gordon, not so great going against a not so great Washington D, and Kenyon Drake versus New England, who's of late has been figuring it out. I think Alvin Kamara continues to have big weeks. I don't think he's going to have a 25-point performance as he has, but I think 15, 16 is not out of the range. I think Kenyon Drake surprises a little people because I believe Williams is still hurt and will continue to be, so he has a bigger game than expected. Gurley, I don't see him getting 16 points. I could see him having a 12, 13-point week, 60 and a touchdown, 70 and a touchdown, whatever. Gordon, I think also I don't think he relies much on his legs this week. I think he gets a lot of receiving yards, but I think Kamara and Drake take it over these two. What do you got? Cole? Cole, are you there?
I gotta be honest, I can't hear a single thing that you're saying. There's just absolutely terrible connection going on right now. I'm still here. That.
So, we're going to skip over Cole's analysis, and we'll go to Dan. Dan, who would you rather have right now, Keenan Allen or Gio Bernard?
Keenan Allen, 10 times out of 10.
You think he's going to outscore him by a lot?
Look, I wouldn't be comfortable starting Giovanni Bernard right now, especially in a playoff matchup. I get it.
Okay, so give me this then.
But Keenan Allen has done.
Who would you rather have, Dan?
Receivers ever done in NFL history in the past 3 weeks. So Keenan Allen's going to have another big week, I think, and Gio's just going to give you, maybe 80 to 90 total yards. He's not getting in the end zone.
Okay, then out of this group, who would you rather have? Sterling Shepard, Amir Abdullah, or Gio Bernard?
I wanted to puke every time you said a name there, but I'd actually probably start Sterling Shepard with Eli coming back. He really favored Sterling Shepard, and I think he's got.
I think he had to
flex
favor
in that
him.
spot. You want to start someone that's going to score a touchdown, and in my opinion, your best bet is Sterling Shepard.
I can't argue that. So moving on to the special teams, Chris has Will Lutz, New Orleans kicker, and Minnesota's defense, while Alex has butt kicker from Kansas City and New England's defense. And I think Minnesota's defense has been dominant all year. Will Lutz benefits from being on a high-powered offense. Butt kicker, he might get a couple points this week strictly because they're playing Oakland. And New England, like I said earlier, has really started to find their stride. There's a lot of crossover in this game. Lot rides tonight on this Atlanta-New Orleans matchup. Overall, I think who do I think is going to take this? I think Chris takes it 101 to 89. Dan, what do you have?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close one, but I think Alex is actually going to pull this one off, 98 to 94.
Cole, can you hear us?
I can.
Can you give us a prediction for the game?
I actually want to break in really quick.
Great.
Sophie Turner, otherwise known as Sansa Stark,
Breaking news.
from Thrones confirms that Thrones won't be back on until 2019.
Yeah, this isn't a Game of Thrones podcast, so
It's just
please
not.
kindly
It's
leave.
not a Game of Thrones podcast.
But those are our predictions and intros and looking at the games. Oh, in the losers bracket, I'm playing Mike, and Dempsey's playing Buck. Joe and Brendan have buys. Really, that's all you need to know about that.
Real quick, bold prediction.
Dan?
Mike Brosk could take 7th place.
I don't...
In a
I
farewell
hope he
tour,
doesn't.
Mike Brosk could take 7th place.
It's not out of the question, for sure. Not out of the question, but totally a possibility. But, Cole, you don't get an ending remark this week because you're playing. Dan, neither do you because you're in the playoffs. Good luck to everybody. Hope to God none of the Liberators or Cole win a championship. Thank you and good night.